Sup nerds, I'm Tom. I'm going to give you a quick look at this insert by eRaptor for Arkham Horror 3rd Edition. Ooh, look at how pretty. So the first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to switch to a different camera angle and show you the insert, and then I'll tell you what I think about it. So let's do that now. Alright, well let's get started. First thing to note here is that the box lid does sit nice and flush, okay? So that's good. You can take it off here. So we've got the rules and the learn to play up on top here. Now remember, it is important to note that this bag actually does not come with the game. This is a different bag. We got obviously from Eagle Griffin, but it does fit in the insert, so that's good. We've got the district tiles here. This, what are these, event card holder here? You can't keep it assembled and inside. I'm not even 100% certain you could. Maybe you could, without the insert. And then everything else in here, this is all just the base game, and it's all unsleeved. Now, it's possible that you could fit this in here sleeved. I definitely think so. And it's also possible that you could maybe fit like the first expansion, The Dead of Night, in here, but then definitely you couldn't sleeve it. But they do have all of the character cards and the monster cards here, or not monster, the, what are they called, the scenario sheets. This thing does slide up here, but then you have all of your characters and focus tokens and stuff there. And then the second one here, all of this comes out. So this insert is just modular, right? And they don't... like there isn't like a base for it or anything like that. So we've got clue tokens, anomaly tokens, all the money and everything like that. And then a small tray for the little cards. So we've got the conditions, spells, allies, items, special cards, the investigator cards, and then the monsters. And it's nice that you get to have them separated out like that. They even have, like this section is bigger, so it's clearly for the monsters. And then the big card tray also comes out here, and I have this separated out. These are all the district cards here, right? Separated out by district in these little slots. I have the headline stack here, all of the codex cards here, and then these are actually all of the events separated out by the scenario themselves, like Veil of Twilight and Legend of the Deep, or what I can't remember what they're called, right? So if I don't need to make the event stack. I just pick this up, shuffle it up, and put it into the little holder. I do have to make the holder, though. Here are all the anomaly cards, separate out in their little decks, and then the player aids here. Now it is, again, this is just the base game, right? So I think you could easily sleeve this, right? You might, though, if you sleeve it, not be able to separate it out the way that I did, right? These, the event stacks, it's really nice to have these separated out here, but that would be a pretty tight squeeze. I mean, maybe you could fit them into here, but there's only 3 there. Like, I don't know, it wouldn't be as split up as nice. And if you put the expansion in here and kept everything unsleeved, you would start having the same problem. Like, I don't know if I could fit 16 cards in this slot here. Yeah, I don't know. And these things, and also these dividers aren't, like, movable. I think maybe you could take some of them out. I'm not actually 100% certain on that. And it is also important to note that this wasn't glued. These little latches, it's kind of like a pinch and pull through, and then they snap open. So, I mean, that's a nice, it's nice that you don't have to glue it, but, yeah, and I think maybe you could take some of these dividers out, but in terms of, like, moving them around and, the big ones I don't want the big ones to be in the middle, I want the big ones to be over here. I don't really think that's all that easily possible. All right, but then we put everything back, nope, look at that. Bada boom, bada bing. That goes there. This bad boy goes back there. So it's not even that hard to remember how to put everything back. I hate inserts when, you have to, it's like a little puzzle to put everything back in. But this is pretty straightforward. So there isn't really much more to say after showing you all that. I think it's a good insert. It's well designed. I like that you don't have to put glue with it. I like how everything has a little spot and all that kind of stuff, and it fits in there well. The box sits flush and all that stuff. The only issue is that if you have any expansions or if you sleeve, it immediately loses some of its value. Like, as is, I think it's really, like, the way I showed it to you is pretty nice. The way that I could separate all those cards out like that, it makes setup really easy and tear down pretty easy. It's very convenient at exactly this state. But if you add in any expansions or if you sleeve your cards, and you certainly can't do both, you know, especially if you add in the expansion, I don't think you can fit everything in here really. Definitely not the first expansion, definitely not, maybe not the first expansion, but definitely not both of them. And sleeving the cards you probably still could do. The only issue there is that the nice organization you got with the you know, the slats for the cards and stuff, and even over here, you start to lose that a little bit. Again, I think maybe some of these slats you might be able to remove completely, but that's, I don't know, that's more of like a band-aid than like a feature. You know what I mean? Well, that's pretty much it. So if you like what I was talking about, link in the description box down below for the insert, for the game, for game toppers, all that kind of stuff. Subscribe and you'll never be bored. Ba-boom.